there's some problems with Maga that I want to talk about. And I know some of you guys are going to get mad or upset, but I don't really care. Remember, we talked about last week on the podcast about, we need to start not caring about things. So this is going to be one of those episodes. All right. So, first of all, the first thing is foreign policy. Foreign policy. I mean, some of these people, of course, are good at it, but some of them are not. First of all, let's address the claims made by some people that World War III is about to break out because there's some missiles that were given to Ukraine and now they can strike deep inside of Russia. All right, guys, calm down. World War III, we all know is not going to happen. Hopefully, you guys can see this on the screen as I'm about to show it. But World War III is not going to happen. We all know how the world is going to end. As I said, um, Earth will not blow up. We know how the world will end, and it's not nuclear war or climate change. We know that it's because that Jesus Christ will be coming back, and the world cannot end. It cannot blow up, and Christ cannot rapture the Christians. He cannot rapture His church, and of course, there cannot be anyone who's left behind if except all of civilization goes extinct by nuclear war. Second of all, from a solely geopolitical perspective, do we even know if Russia's nukes even work? Like they've been talking about this red line, red line, red line. They're going over and over and over all the time. There's no red line. I don't believe because they've been yapping about this for 2 years. They would have done something. I mean, I've been hearing about these tactical nukes since 2023. Been hearing about these red lines since 2022. No, that's not how it works. And even if they did, Russia's military is so corrupt, the nukes probably don't even work. And there's some commenters like Vince Dell, Matt Walsh, who think that this administration is evil for granting this and that they're trying to be neocons and stuff like that, and it's evil, and these people and Bush and like blame all these people, say they're warmongers and things of that nature. And I don't agree with them. I especially don't agree that they're trying to spark World War III and that it's a deeply evil, deeply divisive issue. I agree with more of what Ben Shapiro was saying over than what Matt Walsh was saying, right? But then you also talk about, but Ukraine is Ukraine. Ukraine's not even in the Bible. But we talk about the more important foreign policy concept of Israel. And I was talking to some people yesterday, and people were talking about how Israel is a demonic state, which obviously they aren't. And we have an entire episode about this. They are blessed by God, and we should defend them. But the problem with this is that when we talk about sending stuff to them, when we talk about sending things to, as Lindsey Graham said, our friends over there in Israel, and of course he did use a bad time to bring it up because they're talking about Hurricane Helene, I believe, aid. So it looked really bad for him on video. But I'd accept that over people who like hate them, like, oh my goodness, we can't help them. We shouldn't send aid. Not when there's one person dying in America. When obviously that foreign policy isn't good. Our foreign policy should also extend some aid to other countries, and especially as well for some European countries, because we don't want Russia and China becoming aggressors over there. Also, some of those countries in Europe do allow us, like Germany, to use their countries as military bases or air force bases, so we can have dominance in the world by NATO, which is a good thing. And we shouldn't, defund NATO or anything like that, as people are talking about America first. It does not only mean that we only care about, America. And also, I shouldn't have to argue with you about how Israel is a demonic state. They aren't. Okay, so I'm not really sure how this is worth a discussion. But then we talk about other things. All right, so it's foreign policy. Sometimes you're wrong about that, but one of them is super important. Israel and Ukraine. I'd say that's slight important, but not as important as Israel. But then we talk about some domestic issues, like lots of domestic issues. So here's some bookmarks here, and you see these types of memes. They have this stupid annoying frog. Oh, you can't see it yet. This stupid annoying frog. Like, why are y'all obsessed with this frog? I guess we can talk about y'all's obsession with animals too. But this obsession with frogs, this frog, it's constantly annoying. But here we have this people here. It's November 17th, 2024. I'm thankful that Mike Pence isn't VP elect. You go to any post that he goes over on X, that he shows, he still posts over on X, and you will see hundreds of people saying, "You're a traitor to this nation. You are a traitor." That they won't tell him to die, but like, "You're a traitor. I'm glad you're not VP." I'm like, he's a good man, and I would have. Well, I can't vote, but I would have voted for him if he made it past through the primaries. And sure, he had one bad answer in that interview with Carlson, and he had one alleged bad moment that you guys don't like. That's why you're calling him a traitor. I don't think. I think he did the right thing. I think Ben Shapiro thinks he also did the right thing. But fine, he has one bad moment and one bad campaign moment, and you all yelled at him about, "Oh my gosh, you couldn't feel his gas. He's a neocon, warmonger, traitor." Like, guys, calm down. Show some forgiveness to the man. Good grief. Like, he had a campaign ad and it didn't go well for him. Okay? See, look, he can't fill his gas can. Wow. Big whoop. Hey, guys, he's a neocon. He ran against Trump. And it's his right. It is his right to do that. And frankly, I wish that he would have won because, he'd been a lot better Christian. And that's a good, important thing. Like, the Daily Citizen, First on the Family, these people like him. Right? They didn't just drop him. But you guys just have this immense amount of hatred, and you guys need to learn how to forgive and let go. I think that's another problem, right? Another thing that we have here is accepting people. Like I said, you dropped this good, moral, man because he did one thing that you didn't like, and maybe he had like one bad campaign ad that didn't go well. Oh wow, I can't even fill gas or whatever. But you accept randos who literally 5 years ago were running to just to beat your candidate. And I'm talking about Tulsi Gabbard here, who literally was on their side 2 seconds ago. 2 seconds. As well as, RFK and all these people like, oh my gosh, we're a unity party. But you don't want to shift too far and exclude good people like Pence and kick out people, include some people who may have views that, you don't really agree with, like Gabbard or things like that, to own the quote-unquote neocons, the quote-unquote warmongers, which, and of course, this will seem controversial, but not all war is not bad. Right? All war is not bad. Number 2, I've been called a neocon before, so I guess they're not bad either. And if we become too isolationist, right? If we become too isolationist and don't keep innovating, and don't keep building things, and don't keep building up the military, then guess what? China, Russia, Iran are going to become more aggressive. Sometimes I'm not endorsing all wars. I'm just saying, as a general point here, and I get where they're coming from. But a show of force and having force is a good thing. And you guys use these broad arguments against genuinely good people, and you label them as warmongers just because they, I guess, sat on the board of Raytheon or something like that, Nikki Haley, or once, I don't know, to defend Israel. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Or, to improve our capabilities, or, to destroy legitimately evil countries. But, you just use this whole, warmonger, neocon. You want them to send their sons and daughters to die in wars. Like, are you guys okay? You guys are always upset. And that's number 3, always being upset. Mike Johnson. I mean, you kicked out Kevin McCarthy. And you got this guy. And he walks into the UFC event thing. You're like, oh, see, guys, look, the people love you. You got a taste. Now, you better do it right, or we'll drop you. We don't really like you. You're a traitor. Or he had one bad interview today, right, where he didn't really want to answer that stupid question about if that, what's her name, Tim McBride was a man or a woman. That then he later clarified that yes, he is a man, and only men will use men's bathrooms and women will use women's bathrooms. And they were vicious, killing him over there over on X. I mean, you guys are so quick to kill legitimately good people like Johnson and Pence, and so easy to accept people like his middle name's not Junior, it's Kennedy and Gabbard. Even though, I mean, like Pence penned an article saying no, he shouldn't be HSS nominee because he's a radical pro-abortionist. I think up until the 20th week, and y'all were like, "Oh my goodness, you're a traitor! How dare you? You support seed oils. You support seed oils, and that's bad. You're a neocon, warmongering, blah 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 blah. You know, weakling, traitor." And he's just saying, wait, maybe we shouldn't have a baby murdering apologist to support the Department of Health and Human Services because, I'd like the Department of Health and Human Services to know when life begins. Is that too hard? And then we can talk about lawfare. Lawfare. And not the B talks about this an insane amount of times. Also talks about, this huge unity party and warmongering, stuff like that. And I agree with them, but with the website most of the time, but sometimes they take things way too far. Extremely way too far, saying, "Oh my goodness, not like those old Republican congressmen, not like Bush, these evil people, warmongers, blah blah blah." It's part of course, fine. I'll read it. I'll disagree with them. I'll post links, and I guess they'll never see them. But I can do that, right? But then you get into the whole two wrongs do not make a right effort. You guys, there's a story. There are these people over on Reddit, crazy people, and some of them are on X, some of them switched over to Blue Sky, and they're like, "Yeah, guys, we should you know, I don't think I can say it on YouTube, but the president-elect, because he's evil, and they'll put these tweets up, right? And of course, you have all these people coming in, tagging FBI, Secret Service, etc., etc. And that is a legitimately good thing. They should do that, and the FBI should investigate these people. But when someone did that for Biden, posted it on Facebook, and the FBI raided his house. I think he died in the raid or something like that. Well, not to be. And some of the writers, they got kind of upset. They were like, "Yeah, they didn't have to do this. They just did a show of strength. They just did a show of strength. How dare they raid this man's house? No one even followed him over on Facebook. He only had like one follower, or like he only posted memes. We only posted memes. Yeah, it's fine. This is a gross oversight of power." I'm like, no, it's not. The same things that happened to this guy happened to the other guy. Or when people commit actual crimes, but you're like, well, the other side did something worse, or, well, it is in support of a good cause. Like, I think there's some story about some protesters who broke into an abortion clinic or something. Like, yeah, they probably should be prosecuted for that. You shouldn't break into the buildings. Or some, the Capitol riot protesters, all they did was walk through in a tour, false flag, etc. Like, some of them should be arrested. I don't know. As should some of the people. But, you always talk about lawfare. They're going after this. And because it is lawfare, sometimes Matt Walsh talks about this. Because it is lawfare, our side should do this as well. It's not legal, it's not constitutional, but our side should do this as well. No. We are above that. Two wrongs never make a right. Right? So if they do something wrong, it doesn't mean you get to do something wrong back to them to punch back. And second of all, we should hold our side to a higher standard. They commit a crime. Right? Well, they got away with committing this crime, but this person committed a lesser crime. No, sorry. You be better. Just be better. Two wrongs don't make a right. Let me talk about crazy conspiracy theories and that are sometimes normalized. Like, they just kind of get talked about. And even Elon Musk kind of reposts stuff without even knowing it, and then he gets community noted. And it's talking about, well, these conspiracy theories don't really hurt anyone. I mean, it's ridiculous. Just don't. And always like, oh, well, they lied about us about this, so maybe they're lying about this. And it's frustrating. I despise conspiracy theories with a passion. and it's annoying having to wait for all that and wait for all that. It's honestly sad. And then one last thing, like I said, we're going to get to the absolute obsession about animals. I mean, you would have that frog, that ridiculous frog. I mean, you have all these people running around here with their profile, with that frog in their profile picture, and you know that they have usually some of the craziest, sometimes anti-Semitic rhetoric, and it's ridiculous. Like that frog is annoying. Obsession with animals, and oh, Peanut the squirrel, Peanut the squirrel. I never have seen any more people outraged over a literal rodent in my life. First of all, he was using that as a ploy to get, subscribers to an illicit website. Second of all, he did break the law by having that squirrel. I don't care. Oh, what a gross overuse of power. And so this person called in this gross overuse of power. And look, maybe. But the truth of the matter is that squirrel would still be alive if you registered him properly, and the raccoon would still be alive if he got registered properly. But he didn't. So would a little overbearing force? Sure. But, I mean, this wouldn't have happened if he had followed the law. And speaking of following the law, you have this meme about, basically sometimes whitewashing some of these people. Like, everyone on your side obviously isn't perfect, and you need to stop acting like that. Hey, look at this, I'm perfect. Yeah, guys, I had an unauthorized gas stove and shared inconvenient data and put America first. And these people, so frustrating. And of course, we got to talk about that song. Eat the cats, eat the cats. Yeah, that was sure did it get turned into a meme and everything turned out, for the better. Should that not have been brought up because it sounds insane? And thank goodness we're in the 21st century, not the 20th century, because, no one in the 20th century would have, made a song out of that. Yes, but again, it's obsession with animals. You guys, you go on, you look at Peanut the squirrel, you see him wearing like a Maga hat and, marching in and like liberation. Someone even said that he should be turned into the new logo for the Republican Party instead of an elephant. Absolute obsession of animals. Obsessed. Well, guys, what do you think? God bless.